Hey guys, Derek and
Paula here.
From a guy, a girl, and a camper van. So we were just about to head out to our garden because it's the end of August, and at the end of August, squash starts to come into season, and we have a whole heck of a lot of squash to harvest. But before we do that, we figured we should probably also give you a quick update on how the rest of our garden's been doing, because we've had a lot of other harvests so far as well. So today we're going to show you that.
We weren't really sure how our garden was gonna work out this year, but it actually turned out pretty good. We're pretty happy with the results of it. And it is a first time, and we did say from the beginning that we were gonna learn from our mistakes.
And we've made a lot of mistakes, which we'll probably talk about in another video, but this entire season so far has been one big experiment, right from the ground up, literally. If you haven't seen our previous gardening videos, you should probably check those out. We'll put a link up here or something. But our garden isn't a typical vegetable garden. We used a technique called Hugelkultur, where we actually buried a whole bunch of wood in the ground and then planted our plants into that. And so we didn't really know what to expect, but so far everything's turned out really well.
We're really happy with it. The first thing we were able to harvest was our lettuce.
So we planted a bunch of different types of lettuce. Some we planted from seed and some we planted as small little plants from the nursery. Those that we planted from seed, like some romaine lettuce and some red leaf lettuce, kale, spinach, a bunch of stuff like that, we noticed that they started sprouting after about the first week or so. And then about another week or two later, we were actually able to start picking some of the baby leaves. And so for the rest of the greens, we were able to do what they call continuous harvesting. And so in a grocery store, you would usually see an entire head of lettuce. And that basically means that they cut the entire plant down as one thing. But that means that that's it. The whole plant is done for the whole season. You grow it once and it's now over. So instead, with continuous harvesting, you actually just pick the outer leaves from around the plant. And then the next day, the leaves that were now the inner leaves become the new outer leaves, and you can pick them again. And you're only able to get a couple of leaves from each plant, but as long as you've got a bunch of plants to pick from, you can get a whole salad worth of lettuce every single day for the entire season without ever having to replant your lettuce.
We're so excited. This is the first time we've started to harvest.
First lettuce leaf that we've ever harvested from our garden.
So what are you doing, just clipping all the outside leaves?
Yeah, I'll just go around the outside clipping the big outside leaves, and then they'll fill in more, and then all these inner leaves will become the next outside leaves, and then we'll harvest them too.
Cool.
Some of these we may not eat.
Yeah.
But we'll cut them off anyway. Get them out of the way. All that, eh?
Looks good.
Does look good. There we go. So now we've got some baby spinach. Got some Boston lettuce and some Swiss chard. Not bad for our first little harvest.
Not bad at all. Next, we were surprised to see little cherry tomatoes popping up already.
So we were able to harvest a few of them really early before the rest of our tomatoes really did anything.
We basically just ate them right off the vine.
Yeah, they were only like 3.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the house.
They were delicious though.
Yeah. Then we had some cucumber and zucchini. In fact, we didn't even notice that growing initially. One day we had like little pieces like this, and then a few days later, our cucumbers were huge.
Yeah, it was a complete surprise. The cucumber and zucchini have like really big leaves, and so they were completely hidden by them. And so just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we were overrun with massive cucumbers. And then a couple days later, zucchinis that were even bigger.
It was awesome. Let's see, where is it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
That's 2 huge cucumbers. We should pick both of them. That one's all bent.
Yeah, it's grown up over. And then look at these ones down here.
Oh yeah, little ones. That is a big cucumber. My goodness. And this grew within, what, like a week?
Yeah. Yee, our first cucumber.
That's amazing. You want to get our second?
Yes.
Okay, I'll hand you this.
Okay. Oh, it's prickly.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't even fit in a bowl.
We're eating cucumber today.
We sure are.
You You're gonna have to reach in and pull them out.
Okay, but they're all prickly in there.
I know. Some people wear gloves whenever they do this.
I can't reach that far in. I'm gonna have to go head first in. Ready?
Do it. Yep.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
Nice.
I got it. Holy, it's heavy.
Holy crap. That's a massive zucchini.
Look at.
Wow. Nice. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. So after our first batch of cucumbers and zucchini were harvested, the next thing we noticed that was ripening was the peppers. We had some banana peppers that popped out first, and then after that we also noticed some bell peppers. Some of those we picked while they were green, and some we waited until they were nice and red.
They were yummy.
So because we just built our Hugelkultur mound this year, we weren't sure that we would be able to have much success with any root vegetables like carrots and potatoes. And so we planned to plant a whole bunch of them next year, but we figured we'd at least try one this year, which was turnips. And much to our surprise, they actually did really well. Check that out. Our first little turnip.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Amazing. Look at all these greens.
How many are there? Holy mackerel.
There's a ton.
We're still waiting on some leeks and onions and celery, but we're not really sure how they're going to turn out because they kind of got overpowered by the squash.
Yeah, they sure did. We planted things a lot closer together than we probably should have. Some of the squash smothered out a lot of our other plants. Like our beans, actually. We got a few beans, but unfortunately we thought our beans were going to be pole beans that would grow up our corn stalks, but instead they were bush beans, and so they basically just got smothered out by all of the huge leaves from our squash. So that's a lesson learned for next year. Pay more attention to the packaging on our seeds. So the most recent thing to come into full ripeness is the rest of our tomatoes. We had a few every few days that come up, one or two here and there, but now all of a sudden we've got a ton of them every single day. So for the past week or so, we've been harvesting a huge bowl of tomatoes every single day, and it doesn't look like they're going to be stopping anytime soon. So we just picked a whole bunch of our really ripe tomatoes. There's still a lot in here that are not quite ripe enough yet. Some of these probably will be tomorrow. But unfortunately, whenever we came out to pick them, we actually forgot to bring our big bowl that we usually fill. So this time, we used Paula's shirt. This one still green. He fell off the vine, unfortunately, whenever we were picking them. But we got all kinds of them in here. Even some of these little yellow pear tomatoes. We've got some heirloom tomatoes, some Roma tomatoes, a bunch of these. I think these are just cherry tomatoes. All kinds of good stuff. That's today's haul. Looks like we're probably going to get about this many every day for the next little bit, because there are a ton on there still. So that's pretty exciting.
We won't forget a bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, no, because your shirts are going to get pretty dirty pretty fast if we keep this up.
Pretty stretched out too.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So now that you're all up to date on the rest of our harvests, let's go see our newest one. A whole bunch of squash.
Let's go.
So this is a spaghetti squash, and from what we have read, you're supposed to harvest these once they start to turn kind of a creamy yellow. So for most of its lifespan, it's been this kind of a pale white sort of color, but just recently it started to turn a nice, almost like canary sort of yellow. And so I think that guy is pretty much ready to go. And we've got a bunch more on the other side that are even more yellow than him. So to pick this, I'm not sure if we're supposed to cut it or if we can just break it. What do you think?
Nothing.
You're supposed to be helping me harvest the squash. What are you doing instead?
Eating tomatoes. But look, they're so yummy. Look it.
There are so many of these little guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll help.
Our very first spaghetti squash. And I think it looks pretty darn good.
That's awesome. think there's 2 more ready to go over there too.
Let's get them.
Okay. Oh, it's prickly on the end.
Yeah, the stems are prickly.
Ta-da!
That's awesome.
Wow.
Looks good. So that's 3 now?
3.
All right. Let's see if we can find any more ripe ones.
All right.
In here we've also got some acorn squash. These guys are coming along pretty good, but they're not quite ready yet. They're still a little bit small. So we've got a bigger one over here though.
Oh wow. I just didn't even see that one.
That one, that's about the size of the ones that we usually see in the grocery store. So I think you can probably pick him now too.
This one's a Hubbard squash, but I don't know when to pick him either, but he's on a vine that's dead.
Well, from what I understand, there's a couple different ways to tell when squash are ready to go. One is the actual look of the squash itself, but the other is if the vine looks like this vine does, where the vine's actually kind of withered away, that means that that squash is about as big as it's ever gonna get. There we go. He's pretty little, but I don't know, he might still be good.
We will find out.
Yep.
But there's a huge one over here.
All right, let's go for it.
Oh, butternut squash.
I don't think he's quite ready yet, but he's looking pretty good.
He looks cute, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this guy. He's huge.
Yeah, is he ever?
I don't know. Is he ready to pick or not? I don't know.
I'm not sure because his stem still looks really nice and green. So we'll have to find out. We'll have to look that one up. We may have to harvest him tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of these little acorn squashes all over the place.
Oh, there's another one. It gets just like going on an Easter egg hunt. Look
That's true. Oh yeah, that's fun. And we've also got these little melons here too. This is a muskmelon. This guy's pretty little. We actually already picked 2 of these and they were delicious. And we planted a number of cabbage plants, and though the insects have just been, like this guy, have just been ravishing them, we are still getting a couple of little heads. We got one here, another tiny one over here, and a few more that look like this on the other side. Here's some more peppers that are ready to go, as long as you want green peppers. They're just little, but they've been tasty so far. More tomatoes. So here is our first harvest of squash. We've got 3 spaghetti squash that look pretty darn great, and 1 little Hubbard squash, which is he's a little small, but I'm sure he'll be delicious as well. So now you're all up to date, but stay tuned because now that we have all this food, we're gonna have to start cooking some of it, and we'll probably have some videos about that as well.
That'll be fun.
Absolutely. See you next week.
Tomatoes and cucumbers and zucchini.
And peppers.
And peppers.
And lettuce.
And tomatoes.
You said that.
Oh, I said that. There's
a
lots.
lot of them, yeah.